Hi everybody, Sarah Marie Thompson here, host of this page and the group Wild and Creative Community. If you are not already a part of that community, just give me a couple moments here because I just want to share this to a few groups. So just give me a second here because I forgot to open up this page before. And if you would like to share this as well with anybody, please definitely do so. You can share it on your business page or your personal page, and we're going to be doing an oracle card reading with my new oracle card deck, Magic of a Creative Soul. So just give me a couple seconds here. I've got my share thing open now, and I'm going to do this. This always takes a moment. I wish that I could do this before, but I can't. So I appreciate you guys being here. And if you've got any kind of question or something like that, maybe, or just kind of like a general inquiry or what have you, please definitely think about that now, because that will be helpful too when we're pulling an oracle card for you. So I'm going to pull oracle cards out of my 84 card deck. Let's see here. Okay, just give me one more second. I just have a couple more groups here to share too. And like I said before, if you are up to it, please definitely share it onto your pages as well. Alrighty, so yes, I just created this oracle deck. I love it a lot. I hope that you guys are also going to love it just as much as I do. And it's all about creativity, inspiration, passion, with your passion careers or passion focuses. It's about understanding yourself better. It's about understanding your intuition better. It's everything, right? So it's really, really, really good. Okay, so here we go. Let's just start. I'll share more after. Anyway, all right. So hi, Lori. Hi, Lori. Hi, Rita. I think it's Rita. Nicola's here, Sharon is here, Neil is here, Kelly's here, Tracy's here. Thank you so much. Julie's here. Great turnout already. Okay, perfect. So let's start. So if you guys have a question at all, please definitely comment and we can look at that. But if you would just like a regular reading, just say yes, I would like one, that kind of thing. I'm going to try and get to everybody in a timely manner. Let's start with let's see here. Let's start with a Lori first. And you know what? I'm going to grab a pen and paper because sometimes Facebook moves through everybody's name really fast. And I just want to make sure that Neil, Kelly. Okay, that should be good for now. Okay. I'll start with Lori first because she was first on the scene. Okay, Lori. Ooh, this is awesome. I really, really like this card for many reasons. So authentic self-expression. Okay, so authentic self-expression is literally just that. It's like, it's very important for you to express yourself to the world with your own personal magic, right? Who cares about what everyone else is doing? And that's what that card is really about. I'm not going to read definitions from the book today. I'm really just going to talk to you about like what the gist of it is, right? But authentic self-expression is like, to me, it's like when we express ourselves authentically with no doubt that it's just exactly what we want the world to hear and see coming from our own heart. It's like, you know, there is no competition, right? There is no competition with anybody else. So authentic self-expression is really going to help you move ahead in life more than anything else. Who cares about, you know, what everybody else is doing if you have an online business creating a project with or creating a program with, right? There's nothing worse than when I see online somebody say, oh, you know, I really want to give you guys a new program, you know, like what should I do? Like, oh, I hate that, because it's like, you know, create for yourself first, right? Create from your own self-expression first, and then other people are going to get in line with that, right? So that's the general gist of that. So I hope you enjoy that, Lori, and I think it's good for you because I know you. So anyway, that's good. Okay, Rita Bennett. I like this card a lot too. I like them all. I'm going to keep saying that. So this one is, I expect, can you see that? I expect magic. And I expect magic is actually a bit of a mantra that I always use whenever I'm in restorative yoga. So whenever I'm in restorative yoga, I usually always think about, a phrase or a mantra or something like that. And if you get into the groove of expecting magic showing up in your life every single day, then that's exactly what's going to happen. If you expect sadness, like that's what's going to happen, right? So why not expect magic? Because you really are like a co-creator with the universe. And so expect it. Like you are a magic maker, right? So this is just a really good reminder for you to not take anything less than that idea, right? Expect magic. You are magic. You're living magic every single day. And what kind of magic do you have to share with the world, right? Again, it kind of goes back to self-expression. Really tune into that too, right? Expect magic and give your own magic out to the world. Receive and give. Okay. Nicola, I would love a card on career. Let's see here. Okay. This one says, you're closer than you think. So this card got put in there because I really want people that draw that card to remember that, you know what, like, as you've heard this kind of phrase before, but it's like you had no idea how close you were to getting there before you quit, right? And so maybe there's something happening in your life right now because you wanted to know about career, right? So maybe there's something happening in your life right now where you actually feel like really close or like on the verge of finding out some kind of information or finding out something, right? And so keep exploring that. I am here with you today because I literally followed my curiosity and picked up a book beside me in a waiting room like 8 years ago. And I just got a really awesome idea from that. And that led to that next thing. So keep following your curiosities because you already have a really kind of sense of like what you need to be doing as a career or what you should be doing or what, the universe wants you to be doing. So you just have to keep exploring that just a little bit more because you're extremely close if you're not already in there. And sometimes it's always like a version of what you're doing, right? When we find out what our soul's work and our soul alignment is what is also what I teach, it doesn't necessarily change what we're doing, it changes how we're doing it. So maybe you're already doing something very close to that for a career, but the thing is maybe it needs to be tweaked, right? So you can always private message me about that behind the scenes, but you're closer than you think, okay? Okay, Sharon, nice to see you on here. Ooh, okay. This card, awareness in the present moment. So where in your life right now do you need to settle into the present moment and literally just, for one, be, but also have that awareness of the things that are going on? Because sometimes there's like a crazy vortex of whatever that's going on around us at all times. And we're like really, we can't see everything that's really happening to us, right? Or everything that we should be kind of picking up on, what our awareness is wanting us to grasp. So awareness in the present moment is always a card that you need to just really stop and be very still and kind of like reflect on all the things that are going on in your life right now. And what are you missing? Like, what are you not picking up on or allowing your intuition to kind of show you the answer to, right? So that's just really kind of like an awareness card, but it is awareness in the present moment. So I'd be very interested for you to comment later on and kind of give me an insight as to what that was for you. That'd be very interesting. But there's always stuff going on around us that our sensory perception is like not willing to pick up on, right? And that's also called kind of like the perceptual lens. Sometimes we're not ready to pick up on things, right? Because we're not in that space yet or that awareness yet. But you can be very aware, right? So that's what that card is telling you. Okay, Neil, if you're still on, I will pick one for you. Okay, another similar card to what everybody's been getting. So the world needs your magic. So not expect magic this time. You can, but the world needs your magic. So you've got some kind of stuff that you can give out to the world that it actually really needs. Now, sometimes we hold back on different things like that because of self-worth issues or self-value issues and that kind of thing. But you've got really something special that the world needs. So this is the time and a reminder for you to get it out there and like stop holding back. It could be a book. It could be just information. It could be you running for mayor. It could be whatever. You know what I mean? But like you have your own special magic. That's your creative gold. The world needs it. So get it out there. Okay, Kelly Roberts. Ooh, I like this one. Speak your truth. It's a very simple card, but speak your truth. So, us speaking our truth is always around our throat chakra, right? Because our throat chakra is all about us speaking our truth and our voice, right? So it's very important for you to be heard and seen and felt for everybody around you. And also too, maybe you have a following and that kind of thing. But, it's funny because even people that have a really strong following online, half the time, sometimes they're not even speaking their truth, right? Because they're concerned about what other people should think or know or whatever. But you speaking your truth is really, really important right now, especially. So we're already in 2019, right? What do you want the world to hear from you this year? What do you want to speak your truth about? Maybe you do want to write a book, right? Maybe you want to, I don't know, do something online or do something in your own community, right? But if you don't speak out, you don't share with the world what you're up to and what you're interested in and what means a lot to you, then we don't know. Then we can't meet you halfway, right? So half the time, a lot of people are really into the same stuff as you're into, right? They're into helping support you, right? But unless you share, we don't know and we can't help you, right? So it's kind of a, double-edged sword, because it's like, if you don't speak your truth, like, we can't help you rise up either, right? So hopefully that helps. Tracy, card on my health. Okay, I'll try. Okay, I'm not sure how this fits in, but a push from the universe. Okay, so whenever this card pops up, it's telling you that the universe is definitely there trying to meet you halfway with something. So if it is your health and you are having some health issues, I would definitely look into kind of the metaphysical meanings of what the different issues are meaning for you. Because sometimes you can have, well, I would say most of the time, 99% of the time, you have a health issue going on inside your body, and it's always a direct connection to something that you're thinking, feeling, or any beliefs, thoughts, or patterns. So that's really, really important for you to kind of dive into. I can help you do that behind the scenes if you private message me. But a push from the universe card is really like you are being guided to meet the universe halfway or more right now with something. And if that means your health, it's like, for example, you have something wrong with your lungs and you keep smoking, you know what I mean? It's like, you have to make that change. Like, you have to meet the universe halfway in order to get better. I'm not saying that that's what's wrong with you, but hopefully you understand that, right? But a push from the universe could be in so many different ways, but the universe is there 100% to meet you halfway. And it's very important that you do, create those actions to meet the universe halfway, or else the universe is just like, okay, what do you want me to do? Like, you're not helping me here, right? So, okay. Julie Christie. Sacred Talisman. So this is kind of an interesting card, Sacred Talisman. So what Sacred Talisman means is that you, at this time in your life, really need to connect more with the physical space, like the physical items, right? So for example, last year, my Sacred Talisman, which just means like my sacred kind of like object or kind of like reminder to feel a certain way or to think a certain way or what have you, was actually a really big gypsum desert rose crystal. That was my last year's. This year it's a different crystal, but that's what I would call like a sacred talisman. So it could be a Buddha in your house, right? It could be a book, it could be a journal, it could be a pen, it doesn't matter what it is. But as long as you kind of set an intention and set a program into your sacred talisman, whatever it is, right? It could be a pen, that every time you write with this pen, you become more creative and inspired. Again, it's just like creating programs within yourself and within your life. So this card, when I pull this for you, I would suggest that you come up with something right now that's going to be your 2019 reminder to give you abundance, to give you clarity, to help you do whatever it is. You can set the intention for that, but it's just really important for you to connect more with the physical things, right? So that's kind of what that message is all about. Okay, let's see here. Did I already do? I think I already did. Julie. I already did Rita. I already did Neil. Let's see here. Jody. Okay, this is a really good one. Soul frequency. So what soul frequency is that every single person on this earth and outwards, has a soul, right? Has a soul that is, been living its days, time and time and time again. And so we have basically a soul frequency that we're going to live out like on this life, right? But the thing is that every time, and whether you guys believe this or not, but it's like anytime you have a new life, your soul wants you to live out, you live it out, and you be learning from your new quests, be learning from your new lessons, all that kind of stuff, right? And so we also have an alignment when it comes to our soul. Like our soul is really into specific things. So for me, that would be like creating things, or that would be, you know, loving my life every single day, or even putting order into different things in different situations. Like that's kind of like what I'm all about. So with your soul frequency, you know, you have a different frequency unlike anybody else. So it's very, very important that you figure out what that is for you, because if you're trying to live a life that's like on someone else's terms or not aligned with your soul frequency, then you're going to find that you get a lot of resistance. You're going to find that like a lot of just sludgy stuff is coming up, right? If that's what you're feeling right now, don't worry, because you can definitely find what your soul frequency and soul truth is, and that's going to be very helpful for you, because then you can move forward with basically, you know, working a life around your soul frequency, right? And then you're going to have ease and flow in all situations. So if you'd like help with that, please definitely private message me, because that's most of the work that I do. And then I help people figure out what a great, you know, creative offering system is around their soul's work. But anyway, just know that I would say also, in addition to this card, just know that you are not supposed to be doing what everyone else is doing, right? Because you have your own stuff to do. So that's just really, really important to remember. Okay, let's see here. Let's go with Melinda. Oh, thank you very much, Melinda. Whoop, I already did that. Okay, appreciation for the process. Now, this one sometimes is like a kick in the face, but if there's something going on in your life right now that seems like it's taking forever and you're just like, why hasn't this happened yet? Or like, I've been working on this and this doesn't seem to be coming to fruition, all that kind of stuff. The value of what you need to know at the moment is in the process. So I have been going through a ton of stuff like that too lately, where it feels like, oh, it's taking forever. And like, why? Like, why? If you're in alignment with things, like, why is it taking forever? But it doesn't mean you're not in alignment if it's taking a long time, right? Because there's the idea that, well, if something's in alignment, it can just happen like that. But the other idea is that for you to have appreciation for the process, because if we don't have appreciation for the process, and something would have happened just like that, chances are you wouldn't have the gratitude for it when you got there, right? So just meditate on that idea, having appreciation for the entire process. That could be the journey of life, right? That could be just something that you're going through the past few months. That could be a divorce you're going through. It could be a waiting period on something, whatever it is. You have to have appreciation for that time, because it's going to work out so much better at the end if you do, right? So hopefully that resonates with you. Let's see here. Who is next? I have another Julie Beam. Find the beauty in everything. This is a really important card, again, because it also stems back to having gratitude for everything, right? Because now, hopefully you guys can understand this, and I don't think it's just me, but when you feel really happy and aligned with different things, like everything seems that much more beautiful. Like, does it not? Like, you're just like, wow, everything's like amazing. And I don't know if it's like really like the level of happiness that just increases your awareness on the beauty of life, but I think it's really the gratitude part that does, right? So if you're having trouble right now kind of seeing the beauty in everything, or seeing the beauty in different situations, it's really important for you to dive into the gratitude for just being. Right? If you really got into thinking about, you know, just life in general and just being here and just like the magic of it all, and just, gosh, everything from the Fibonacci sequence to whatever, outside, nature, all that. I mean, I've always said that nature is like the biggest form of creative expression and creativity that we'll ever see. Right? So again, when I want to feel inspired, I always go outside. Even if it's winter, you can still get a lot of, you know, find a lot of beauty in everything. Winter's actually very beautiful. And just start appreciating everything like for what it is. There was once a time where I literally didn't like any season except for summer. I don't know why, because I really don't know. And then finally, years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, like as a creative person, I should be finding appreciation and beauty in every single season, right? So now, like, I love the spring for its like growth and like energy, and I love summer for its kind of like wild nature, and I love the fall for its creativity and colors, and I love the winter for its like stillness and reflection. So like when you can get really into finding the beauty in everything, like you're gonna be golden. So like really work on that right now. Okay, Lisa Lyle. Okay, paused. This is an interesting card right now because it suggests that there's something in your life right now that is like still, or like stagnant. Not in a negative way, but just that needs to be like reawoken. So it could be something that you're doing like a hobby, or you're not doing it anymore, or somebody that you used to hang out with that you don't hang out with anymore. It's usually referring to something like positive. So there was something positive that you really enjoyed doing or liked doing, or that was like really aligned with your soul's work, and then you kind of stop doing it. So that's something that you need to like reawaken and look at. Often this honestly sometimes is directed to like movement as well. So sometimes it's about working out or being healthy or eating healthy or drinking more water. It could be as simple as that, right? But there's something in your life right now that's been paused and you need to press play. Okay, Tammy M, OG. Ooh, this is one of my favorite cards of the deck. Be creative, not competitive. So just a little bit of a story on this. I heard that term like 10 years ago at a seminar or something like that. And I was like, at the time I was in interior design. I was being super creative all the time anyway. And I was like, how can I be more creative? Like I didn't get it. I was actually quite annoyed by it. So be creative, not competitive. And so it took me a while to figure it out, but finally what I did was I understood that instead of being competitive in my market, like this was just for me, but instead of being competitive in my career market of interior design, I could literally join them all by creating these big, huge canvases and selling these big, huge canvases to, you know, show homes or other interior designers and stuff like that. So it was in that moment where I had that aha, and it was like, oh, that's how I can be creative and not competitive, right? So there's always something going on in your life right now where you can actually be even more creative. And again, it usually is about creating for yourself first. When we create for other people first and create our programs for other people first and write a book for other people before we write it for us and all that kind of stuff, it takes the magic away from what we're doing. So that's about being creative first, not competitive. Because again, if you're just doing your own thing and you're being authentic, who cares what other people are doing? There is no competition. So that's about being creative, not competitive, right? So how can you really like throw that into your own life? I'd really love to know. Okay, Julie Christie. Have I done you before? Oh, I'm not sure. Julie Christie. I'll do another one if I have. Okay. Ask Spirit for help. So this card is a super simple card, and it's just like, if you don't already talk to spirit guides or archangels or angels or whatever, it doesn't matter who your spirit team is. It really, really doesn't. Sometimes for others, it could be God. Sometimes for others, it could be just the universe or creator. It doesn't matter, whatever. But you have a spirit team up there, right? Whether you believe in like it or not. And so here's the thing. When you ask your spirit team to show you something or to help guide you in a certain way or to help you do something, that is when they will kick in full force. If you don't ask them for anything, they're not going to do anything for you because they think that you've got it, right? And they also don't want to like interfere. But ask Spirit for help right now. If there's something going on in your life, that's what you need to do right now. And you definitely probably most likely will find that it is extremely helpful. I know that whenever I have done that, right, in a big situation, I've always found that it really helps. So ask Spirit for help right now. Okay, Debbie V. This is kind of a simple card, but hopefully it definitely resonates with you. So animal magic. Because this deck is called Magic of a Creative Soul, there's so many aspects that make up a creative soul, right? I truly believe, like being an animal lover myself, I literally got a cat sitting on my lap right now. But animals do hold a sense of wellness and also awareness in the present moment and just the magic of just being, right? And they also hold a really special energy. So if you have animals, this is a really good time to connect with them. And I know this card's kind of like funny and simple and doesn't really have like a crazy strong message other than the fact that animals do show us messages, right? They're animal spirit guides. All animals are a message of some kind. So when you really start diving into animal messages, that's really, really important. If you don't already have the book, Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. It's like the best animal book ever. I would highly suggest you go and get that. I keep it near me like all the time because you know what? Like when a pheasant runs across the road or when a hawk dives in front of you or when you see a bear or even a cat crosses the road, what have you, it always means something. So it's really interesting to dive into and see what that all means for you. So anyway, connect more with animals and don't disregard. Okay, that's your general message. Okay, so Crystal Allen. I think I'm on Crystal Allen. Okay. Collaboration. So this is a really important time for you to collaborate, okay? So there's collaboration for the right reasons, okay? So I've done a lot of collaborations over the years where, you know, I ended up doing kind of like all the work. That's just kind of like my work ethic where I just kind of, you know, end up doing it all. And that's not a collaboration for a good reason, but a collaboration for the right reasons is when you feel so happy and excited and aligned to do a project or a task, and you're so excited for people to join you in it. And there's no like extra like expectations or anything like that of like, you know, people doing such and such or what have you. It's just a great feeling of collaboration because everybody's into it all at the same time. Now, this just might be you and somebody else working on a project or something, but it's time that you did collaborate with somebody or other people to do something and get something done. And half the time, why we don't collaborate is because we're like A-type personality and we want to do it all on our own. And if you're feeling like that's you, that's what you have to kind of like shed at the moment and move forward with allowing yourself to collaborate. Okay, let's see here. Jeanette Young. I'm gonna write down some more names here. Moira. Okay. So let's see here. Jeanette. The emotional storm. Now, emotional storm definitely resonates with me because I feel like being a creative is essentially all the time an emotional storm. But what emotional storm card is all about is you really understanding what your emotions are all about and also having the tools to shift out of different emotions when you don't want to be there, right? Now, there's one thing about listening to your intuition, right? And following your intuitive guidance and messages through the way you feel. That's one thing. But the other thing is, you know, being an emotional wreck in certain situations and not being able to get yourself out of it or having the tools to have that emotional intelligence for you to shift. So what kind of things right now are like making you crazy? What kind of things right now are making you feel sad, uncomfortable, what have you? And it's really important that you understand what those are so that you can then have the power and intention to shift out of that, right? So there might be something really negative right now that like is in your life or kind of keeps popping in or what have you. And it's just really important to gain that emotional intelligence around correcting that. Like have the tools in your toolbox. Okay, let's see here. Lorinda. Okay, signature card, Magic of a Creative Soul. So this card specifically is like one message, and it simply is you as a creative individual, because you create every single moment of your life with whatever, right? As a co-creator, you have a very specific magic within you that you need to concentrate on right now. And it's actually a very serious card. Like you have to concentrate on it or you will feel depleted. So what is that for you? It could be painting. It could be writing. It doesn't even have to be like a creative thing because everyone has their own creative magic. But it's really important that you just dive into that and allow it to flow. Because if you're holding back in any way and you're not allowing it to flow, then that's where the block is, right? So that's the message that's really important for you right now. Moira Hunter. All right, house harmonizing. So this card, just like animal magic, is quite simple. It's like you have the power within your home to actually help you manifest and make things happen. So you have the power within your home to set different programs for different objects. Every time I write with this pen, I get more creative. Every time I walk through a doorway, I get more abundant. Turn a doorknob, what happens there? Like you have to kind of retrain and like re-trick your subconscious mind to believing certain things, but you can actually change your whole life by harmonizing your home with programs and also other just different like earthly physical tools like sage, Palo Santo wood, like all that kind of stuff, right? So really dive into the power of your home and space because our inner world reflects our outer world and vice versa. And if you don't enjoy your space, then you're not living in love, right? So it's as simple as that. Okay, Yuri. Yuri. Again, like some of these are simple cards that are popping up and they kind of all go together in a bit of a package, but yours is kitchen magic. So kitchen magic, actually, there's a couple different things here. So this card was inspired by a compassionate cooking guru that I know, and she uses the lemon as a symbol because it is, in her culture, it is life, and it is zest, and it is energy, and it is the sun, and it's clarity and reflection and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's the lemon in here. But the kitchen magic part is, again, that you have the ability to put whatever you want into your body. So choose carefully, right? You have the ability to make a dinner for your family with the intention that it is going to create more happiness and togetherness. You always have the ability to kind of be that little kitchen witch, right? And be like concocting in your cauldron whatever magic it is that you want. So you're in charge. It's not just you cooking hamburgers. How about it's you cooking a very planned, specific dinner that not only is going to nourish your body, but also has the intention of you fill in the blank, right? Alrighty, so let's see here. Carrie Sue. Carrie Sue. Oh, good card. Blissed out. So the blissed out card asks you to think about what are those things that truly make like your heart sing and your like stomach flutter with excitement. Now, sometimes we don't have those feelings every day, but I'm sure you've had those feelings at some point in your life. And it's really important for you to think back to like what made you feel that way, because it's important for us to activate those feelings of being blissed out because they're going to help us manifest more stuff. So when you're feeling like super excited and like blissed out, you're vibrating at a frequency that's going out into the universe, coming back to you as more of what you're feeling. So again, like how can you feel blissed out? Even in moments of like despair and just like sadness and all that kind of stuff, we can still kind of get to that place and activate that blissed out nature if we know what caused it, right? So journal about this and like kind of figure out like what makes you feel blissed out in life. Is it hanging out with your family, your kids, what have you? Because you can start to feel that way and then help you manifest more of what you want, right? Melinda Bliss. Her name's Bliss. I would love one on making a physical move. Okay. Okay, well, this is interesting. It will get better. Okay, so on a physical move, like you have to know, I would say that this is a pretty clear sign. It will get better if you do something like that. Just one sec before I keep going here. I just want to write down some names here because it's going off my page. Okay, it will get better. So again, this is just a really clear sign that I would say that a physical move is exactly what you need right now. You know, sometimes we can just like always be wavering or wondering and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, the universe meets us halfway when we make an intention to move forward, right? In some way, movement. When we make an intention to change, right? To meet the universe halfway. You have to meet the universe halfway right now. I'd say that's definitely a pretty clear sign. Okay, and I forgot to tell you guys, please, please, please get your own creative Magic of a Creative Soul Oracle deck, okay? I put the link. It's my GoFundMe page. I need to get to 500 decks sold. And I also want to tell you that 20% of all of the proceeds are actually going to one of my favorite animal charity organizations in Asia to help animals out of the dog meat trade. And so that is where a lot of the money is going, of course, then to the, you know, purchasing my decks. But I really want these to be like in your hands, you using them, us talking about them, all that kind of stuff. So please definitely go to that link and purchase your own deck. If you scroll down to the bottom, it gives you all the options of what you get and all the extra little goodies that you get with purchasing one of these decks. So please pre-order them right now. Okay, so let's do, it was Jeanette. Okay, Jeanette, you got see yourself higher. So this is a really important message because we have to see ourselves higher. You are always going to live up to whatever you see yourself as. So if you see yourself as just mediocre and like, meh, whatever, then that's all it'll ever be. But you have to see yourself higher, just like we have to see other people higher, right? People that we think are always going to let us down or what have you, we have to see them higher in order for them to live up to our expectations. So see yourself higher in order for you to live up to your magic, right? And your pure potential. Let's do Elizabeth. Okay, neutrality. So it's kind of a dull card, but it really does have a more magical meaning than that. You know, all the different healing modalities that there are in life always have kind of like a similar underlined target, which is getting to the place of neutrality. Because if you look at the emotional scale, neutral is in the middle, right? And if you can't get to ecstatic and excited and all like that and happy, then neutral is better than anything beneath that, than sadness, than despair, all that stuff. So we want to get back to neutral. So that's where we always strive for, especially in all healing modalities, is getting to that place of neutrality. Joe Vitale talks about it in his book, Zero Limits. So a place of zero limits, right? It doesn't matter what it is, like Ho'oponopono or, healing touch, what have you want to get that to neutrality. So where in your life right now are you feeling kind of low? And it's very important for you to start doing EFT tapping, or maybe doing different healing work or healing touch, or maybe it's Reiki or what have you. It could be theta healing or Yuan or whatever, and get to a place of neutrality in your life, because neutrality is actually golden. Anything neutrality and up is actually golden for you right now. So just look at that, getting back to neutral, because neutral is not, it's not bad or good. It's just neutral. And when you're at neutral, that's better than you being in a low vibration and then vibrating at a low vibration, right? So you want to be at neutral. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, let's see here. So Nicola, already got one. Okay. Moira Hunter. Where are we here? Oh, I did that one already. Keep putting them in the wrong spot. Moira, your creative bliss. So your creative bliss, we kind of talked about blissed out before, right? But your creative bliss is essentially an equation of your most creative and inspired time. So for example, if I was to say like what my creative bliss is, it's being on my deck with a beautiful view in the summer. It's just nice and warm out. It's in the evening. I have like a caramel macchiato or something like that. My cats are all there with me. My husband's there. We're just hanging out on the couch, or maybe we have a glass of wine or something. I'm either reading a book or I'm on my computer, and I'm just feeling so inspired and creative and excited about life. That's my creative bliss. What's your creative bliss? Because if you can figure out what it is, right? Even if we can't get to all those parts and pieces at once, we can still pull from little bits of them, right? And access our creativity and our inspiration, right? So I want you to figure out what your creative bliss is, okay? And then always kind of pull from that. Okay, so let's see here. Give me just a moment. Michelle. Katrina. Okay. Sorry, I just want to write it down here. Okay. I'm not going to say this right, but Mahila. Okay. Very good message. The birth of something new. And yes, this is a pregnant lady. All of the art on these cards, I've done them. All 84 cards, I've done this art in some way. It's either been paintings that I've done and that kind of thing, or images that I've taken from my creative coloring books, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, side note. The birth of something new. It's time for you to birth something new right now. It doesn't have to be a child. It can literally be a project, some kind of creative project or something like that. Maybe it's whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. But it's just time for you to do something like that, something new and exciting, to really get your inspiration and creativity going again. So hopefully you have something going on right now, or it's just time to be open to seeing what pops up for you, right? And what is something new that will pop up for you. So that's really exciting. Okay, Samantha. Stepping stones. So this card just is a great reminder that whatever is going on in your life right now, even the stuff that feels shitty or like not so great, it's all stepping stones to get to the next thing. So for example, right, like me being here with you today was just me opening up a book, getting inspired, meeting someone new, working on a project, then working on another project, then other things happening. It's just like all stepping stones, right? So nothing is for nothing, right? Everything is on purpose to some degree. And only when we get to the other side of things and we get to the things that we want, can we look back and say, that's why they were all stepping stones. So don't be upset with anything that's going on right now. If there's anything like that feels negative or sludgy, it's all stepping stones, all lessons. Okay, I'm looking for Elizabeth L. Tree healing. So the tree healing card is a very easy message that tells you that you really need to connect with trees more. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but trees really are like our sacred mirror, right? The way that we breathe, the way that we grow, like it really is. We have such a direct connection with trees, and all trees have different healing powers. A really amazing book that I love so much, and actually did a whole series of tree meditations about this book, is called, I think it's called The Healing Power of Trees by Sherilyn Hidalgo. And it is an amazing, beautiful book, and I highly suggest that because all different parts of the year have a different tree connected to it in Celtic traditions, and it's really important for you to really understand like the energy of the tree, right? But anyway, even if it's winter, you can still connect with trees. So trees are super magical. Connect with them. Super simple message. Let's see. Michelle T. Constant evolution. So constant evolution is just a really great card, a good reminder for you that things are always going to be growing and changing and expanding. It doesn't matter what you are or who you're doing or what have you, it's always that way. And when you can kind of get into the flow of just understanding that and also being grateful for it, that's when you can really start riding the wave of magic, right? Because if we're all rigid and stuff like that, then we're probably going to get tossed around a lot. But constant evolution is just a card that's just a reminder that whatever you're going through right now, this too shall pass, right? And more great waves of happiness will come in and all that kind of stuff. But you just have to be more with the flow, going with the flow right now. Michelle T. Let's see here. Wait. Chantel. Okay. So Michelle T. Now is the time for you to be the influencer. So this card used to be called Idle Charmer when I was doing it. And it simply is like, you have the power to kind of be like the Great Gatsby in your own life. You need to be the leading lady of your own life, right? So now is the time to be the influencer. You see online all the time about become an influencer, all like that. Yes, it could be that, but also you have the power to really show the world what your magic is, and people will listen and they will follow. So this is just a really clear reminder for you to be the influencer on something, because you really need to be like that person, like that manager, or that what else word would I use? Be the head of whatever, right? Like be the influencer, influence people, because people will be influenced by what you do. So make good choices. Another good little side note is, thinking about the decisions we make, and like every decision you make is a direct reflection of who you are as a person. So make good choices. Okay, Katrina. Oops, did that one. Katrina. Infinite bloom. So infinite bloom is a message that things are always growing, expanding, kind of like constant evolution, but more so that nature doesn't have to be told what to do, right? It's always growing and expanding at any given moment. And so are you. So you don't want to hold yourself back, right? You don't want to keep like trimming your branches. You want to be able to bloom with what you're doing and, the work that you're doing in the world. So whenever I get this card, it's just a really good reminder that things are as they should be, right? And things will always, like spring will always come, right? Although it doesn't feel like it will, but spring will always come, and then summer, and then fall, in most areas of the world, but it's just kind of an idea. So, really, allow this time for you to grow and expand, right? And also to know that everybody has a time of contraction, right? Just like they have a time of expansion, and you can't always be in expansion all the time. Like a flower can't always be blooming all the time. There's always a time of, it dying and falling off, right? And that's contraction, getting ready, the energies, getting ready again to bloom again, right? So just know that times of expansion and contraction are all normal, right? And so if you're going through a time of contraction right now, just know that it too shall pass, and you will definitely be, again, blooming into success once again. Shoot, who is that for? Katrina? Tuska. Tuska. Your life is your masterpiece. Now, this is a really important reminder because you are a co-creator with the universe, right? So think of your life as a masterpiece. Every single day, what paint are you going to put on this painting? You make the choice. You make the decisions with who you talk to, what job you have, all that kind of stuff. You are not a victim in any way, and you are in control, right? So really see yourself as being in control, because that's the most important thing. It helps you be the co-creator with life, with the universe, right? So whenever you're feeling as though you've lost all control, or, you don't have any say in anything, forget that, because you do. You really have to look at your life as an ongoing masterpiece that you're working on for your whole life, and know that if there's an area of that painting that you don't really like, you can change over it. You can paint over it, right? It's always your choice. Okay, Michelle Docker. This is a good one. Goddess Fortuna. So this card is all about abundance, and it's all about tuning into the vibration of abundance. Okay, so sometimes when we feel like really not abundant whatsoever, we always do have something around us, or someone, or something we can tune into that's going to allow us to get the more feelings of abundance. Okay, so what I would suggest is kind of like the whole Sacred Talisman card, but have something in your home or something like that. Like I have this on my desk, and this always reminds me of my Golden Pineapple Project program and running it, and that, you have creative gold inside of you, but I have this golden pineapple on my desk. So this would kind of be like a talisman for a reminder for me about abundance, right? But people have all different things. Maybe they tune into different meditations, or keep $100 bill in their wallet so that they know they always have money. Whatever it is, just tune into the different kind of financial abundance tricks and techniques that you can help really transform your subconscious mind, right? There's a program I have on my website, so wildandcreative.com. Go to programs, and it's called Citrine Abundance Activation. Again, using the power of citrine crystal to really help you develop wealth consciousness and clear your money blocks. It's a really cool program, so definitely go check that out. Okay, Samantha Wright. Passion and purpose. What is your passion and what is your purpose? Again, really connected to soul alignment and soul frequency. I mean, we have things that we like to do and make us happy. But when we really connect our passion to our purpose, to our soul's purpose, that's where the magic is, right? So again, if you need some help kind of understanding this, what that means, please definitely private message me and reach out, because that is exactly what I do. But just to get into that just a little bit more, we all do all of these different things, right? And some of them we really, really like to do, and some of them we love to do. And usually the ones that we love to do are very well direct connected to the things that we should be doing. So if you can be doing more of those opposed to the things you just like or do or what have you, that's where all your best energy is going. And so you want your most creative, inspired energy to start creating your life with passion and purpose, right? So that's usually kind of like a little bit of a it's not a trick. It's just a little bit of a roadmap into really diving into your purpose, your soul's work, right? Because your soul's work is never stuff you don't want to do. It's as simple as that. So where does your passion and purpose really lie? Chantel. Oh, I just lost my younger brother, passed away. So torn and lost. Let's see if you get him. Okay, this is a good card I just pulled for you. So oneness. Okay, so oneness, blanket statement, is that we're all connected in no matter what form, right? Everybody on earth is connected because there is no separation between any of us. Now, that is metaphysically speaking and physically speaking. So energetically speaking, right? Everything is energy and just vibrating at different frequencies, and that's why it looks different. But I'm actually connected to you because I'm energy, you're energy, and there's only air in between us, which is also energy, right? So whatever your younger brother is now, however that is, or however you look at it, again, you're super connected to him. There's no way that you're not connected to him. So really dive into the idea of oneness, right? There's no separation. For sure. You guys are connected. So keep talking to him, right? When my grandma passed away, I kept a very specific journal that I would write to her in, right? It was kind of like I knew that message would get to her. Maybe that's something that you want to do. Again, could be whatever you want, like have like a stone or a crystal or something that reminds you of your brother and talk to him whenever you hold it. Like create something like that for yourself, because again, oneness, we are all connected. The whole universe is totally connected. You are connected every day to the same stuff that makes up the stars, to the same stuff that makes up the planets, to the galaxies, the air, to the trees and nature on Earth. Same with your brother, right? So hopefully that'll help you a little bit, right? Because it's kind of an exciting thought. It's just like there's no separation and there never will be. All right, let's see here. Where did I go here? Let me just write a few more. Lorraine, Karen. If I've missed anybody, I'm so sorry. I don't think I have. Yuri. Let's see here. Sorry, I just want to write some down here. Kathy. Leslie, okay. So this one is for Lorraine. Aha, another signature card. Wild and creative. Obviously, that is my brand, wild and creative. But what wild and creative means to me is, again, creativity, nature. Nature is the biggest form of creativity that we'll ever experience here on Earth. So wild and creative brand, what that really is about saying that, you know, you can access creativity and inspiration from nature. So that's where you need to go right now to really get that. I mean, there's the whole thing about the Fibonacci sequence, right? I mean, there was once that years ago, I like looked outside and saw the veins of a leaf and I was like, these are really mathematically like perfect. Like there's got to be something to that. And I checked it out. And then I learned all about the Fibonacci sequence or the golden code ratio. And it's like mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing how there's a mathematical sequence to life that runs through everything, that runs through people, plants, animals, the universe, the way the universe turns. It's crazy. It's the same way that a shell is created. So there's so much connection there. So this card really just is all about you understanding that if you want to really tap into your creative nature and your inspiration, go and connect with outside, because that's what it's all about. That's why we're all here. That's everything. Karen. Oh, Karen, the blank canvas. So a lot of people are scared of the blank canvas because it essentially is like very scary and daunting, right? It's like putting those first like colors and all that kind of stuff like onto your canvas. So how I like really look at this is that you have to just start. Now, I remember this time in college where I had blank canvas syndrome and I was like creating this big painting and I was humming and hawing of like what I wanted to do. And my friend just came along and like splashed some color on it. She's like, there, now you have to start. And I was like, oh, but thank you. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just have to throw yourself in and push yourself. I also call this kind of like going live, because a lot of people have fear about starting their website or going live on their website. And it's like, you know what, just press live, close your eyes, come back in a few minutes. And you're like, well, I've been online for a few minutes. So someone might have seen it already. You just have to push yourself into something that you really want to do. So that's kind of like what the blank canvas means. Okay, Moira. Let's see here. I just want to make sure that Chantel. Okay. Okay, Moira. Invitation for transformation. So this is a really good card saying that like you're at a point right now where it's time for transformation. Like it's time for you to like move into the next phase of your life or like start doing something new and exciting. Because sometimes things can get really, really stagnant and then nothing happens and nothing changes and nothing, you know, we just get really kind of like stuck. And if we're not moving, just like life, right? Like if you're not moving and growing, you're essentially just like gonna like, it's not good. So, so invitation for transformation. This is your time to create a change or a transformation for yourself, whatever that is for you. And just know that it's safe to do so. Okay. Oh, shoot. I'm never going to read this word. The name was BHREAGH. So Brig, you know who you are. Crystal Magic. Crystal Magic is another really simple card that reminds us to connect with crystals. Now, if you don't already connect with crystals and you're not all into them, I suggest that you definitely like dive into the healing power and metaphysics behind crystals, because again, it's mind-blowing as to the different energies that different crystals hold. So Crystal Magic card, I really find is a really good reminder that as a creative person, like we love having physical, tangible objects and things, right? We love having physical, tangible ways of connecting with the earth or, manifesting, that kind of thing. And so crystals is the thing for you right now. Dive into them, whether it be necklaces, just crystals on your desk, different crystals in different rooms, citrine in your abundance corner, what have you. Just really dive into that, and you can learn so much online about crystals. Yuri. Another crystal card. Citrine Soul. So Citrine Soul is actually directly connected to abundance, because citrine is the crystal of abundance, right? So you want to put citrine in your abundance corner of your home, in your cash register, at your work, what have you, in your wallet, all that kind of stuff. So this card actually is a real direct reflection to my citrine abundance activation program on my website, because I do a whole abundance activation program around the power of citrine. But for you, what this could mean just right now is to use this as one of your sacred talismans, to use this as kind of a guiding light for something you want to manifest, or the work you're trying to do, or more money you're trying to bring in. Connect with citrine right now. So that's like just a super simple blanket statements. Connect with citrine. Okay, Kathy. Okay. I'm just writing down some more names here. Sometimes it takes a long time to get through. Okay, so Kathy, just do you. I really like this message because it's just a real clean-cut reminder. It's like, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Just do it your way. Do it the way that you would do it. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing online, offline, what your family says, what your friends say, because sometimes friends and family aren't the best for, advice. So just do you. Just be like authentically you, and like come across the world as you want to be heard, right? Speak your own truth. Lisa, Lisa, I can't even go up there anymore. But it was like the only L name. So if your name started with an L just a little while ago, that's probably you. I'm going to say it was like Leslie, maybe. Enchantment. The enchantment card is all about you bringing into your life more feelings of magic and enchantment. So I know one of my friends is on right now listening, but you know what? If you need to go and watch The Secret Garden, or something like that, like bring more enchantment into your life, like bring more magic into your life. So many people are just kind of living like simplified and like monotone and like in the box and like all that kind of stuff, where like you could actually be like diving into the magic of plants, the magic of crystals, the magic of the universe, like the magic of thought and manifestation. Like just really explore different ways of bringing enchantment more back into your life, because why not? Why do you want to live a boring life, right? Why do you want to live boring vibes when you can live enchanting vibes? Let's see here. I need to. Now, did I do Lorinda already? I feel like I did. Okay, this one is for Lorinda. She said, I'm thinking about sewing items to sell. As a pet groomer in the winter months is slow. To make financial needs meet, I was thinking of sewing. I actually copied a dog parent. Okay, well, here you go. Stop analyzing all of the things that you think you should be doing, intuition over analyzation, and use your intuition. If you're feeling called to do that, and you're feeling really called to start working with your hands on this kind of project and sewing, then do it, right? Don't overanalyze if it's going to work out or how much money it's going to bring in, all that kind of stuff. Because with the vibe that you put into something that you're so into, people pick up on that, right? If there was two ladies selling the exact same crocheted hats, but one of them crocheted them with the intention of love and happiness, you would feel that. You would buy from her instead, right? Chantel. Okay, Chantel. Conscious creating. So conscious creating is all about you being a conscious creator. So you understanding that your thoughts and emotions actually manifest different things in your life. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Your thoughts and emotions manifest different things in your life, right? So we know what we're vibrating at, we know how we're feeling, and we know that when that goes out into the universe, it's going to come back to us as more as what we're feeling, right? So you want to be very conscious about what you're feeling and be in check of all of those situations and emotions and feelings, right? So you are a co-creator, you're a conscious creator, and when we take action on the things that we really want to create, and also take, what word am I looking for? Responsibility for our feelings and actions, right? Knowing that we can change them, and knowing that all the shit you've created in your life, you actually created it yourself, and now you have the ability to change that. Like, that's being a conscious creator, right? So really feel into conscious creating and know that you have to take responsibility for everything that's happened so far, but know that you have the power to change it. Okay. So that was... Okay, Nicole. It's time for Nicole. Oh, here we go for Nicole. Where are we? Be brave. So, it's not just about having confidence with every single thing that we do, or having the roadmap to every single thing that we do in order to do it. It's all about us being brave just in every single moment. Like, we don't have to be a super confident person. We can just be brave in every single moment. And those moments add up, and then we become a super confident person. So if there's something going on in your life right now where you're like a little bit scared to do something, or scared to say no to somebody, or scared to just make a decision that's totally you instead of totally someone else, just be brave and make the decision knowing that it's going to work out. If you want it to work out, it'll work out, right? So again, don't worry about anything that's going on right now, but you just have to be brave with all of your decisions, right? And make the decisions for you. Like, don't be making them for anybody else. Okay, Barbara. Okay, Barbara. Intrinsic sovereignty. So intrinsic simply means, in my language, it's like without a doubt. That's just the way it is. It's like, it's like the way that trees grow. They just know to grow. It's like just intrinsically, that's how it is, right? Like, that's how I kind of see it. And then sovereignty, meaning kind of like royalty, like, in a sense, right? So if we put intrinsic sovereignty together, it's kind of like the natural royal. And so why I really enjoy this card is because it truly reminds me of the power of nature, and how nature is the ruler, essentially, right? And you can be the ruler of whatever you're doing, whatever your life is all about. So, you really are like the natural queen, right? Like, you're really actually wearing that crown of like ivy and thorns and all that kind of stuff. But, it's up to you to decide on how you really bring your royalty to the table for other people. You can be a co-creator in your own life, right? And make that magic work. But it's really important that you remember that you are magical, right? Like, you are royalty. Just hold a golden crown, right? Like, you are the queen of your own life. Like, own it. Okay. Bridget. Let's see here. So I had Heather, Tanya, Kathy, Edie, Bridget. Oh, nice. Embody your desires. So again, when we think about energy, right, it's like we're going to get back what we're feeling more of. So, you've all heard, if you really want that car, you really want that Mercedes, go to the car dealership and sit in that car and feel it and smell it and like get into it. Like, you're embodying your desires. You're embodying having it now. You can do that with anything you want. But just get really, really good at embodying those things that you want, right? So if it's $1 million that you want, again, you don't have to be laying in a pool of dollar bills, but you could say like, okay, like, let's start planning our life for being really rich, right? Like you and your husband, like start looking online for houses that would reflect being a millionaire, right? Having enough money to buy them. Just start really like playing, like make it a game. Like it's all a game. It's all a game of life. It's a game of Monopoly. And if you're not playing the game, then you're not going to win it. Right? It's as simple as that. So that's why I love games like Life or Monopoly. It really, honestly, in an indirect way, like taught us as youngsters that you have to play to win, because it's all energy. If you're not playing and you're scared to buy Park Place or like the railway station or whatever on Monopoly, you're not going to win the game because you don't have the Monopoly. Right? So just kind of think about it like that. Like really embody your desires. Maybe play Monopoly later. I don't know. But you know what I mean. So hopefully you can kind of understand that message. But start embodying the things that you really, really want. Okay, Heather. I really enjoy this card because it has a really strong message. Contradictions. So wherever there's a contradiction in your life, there's a block. There's an energy block. So for example, say you want to become really well known and really famous and become an influencer online, yet your personal profile photo is a flower or like a sunset. Well, how can you be seen like that, right? That's a contradiction. Or say, you know, I really want to lose 20 pounds, but every day you're driving yourself to the fast food place. That's a contradiction. So there's so many contradictions, and everybody has a bazillion contradictions, but you have to figure out what those contradictions are and how you're living them in order to change them, because then you're able to change your energetic block. So chances are you already have a million going on right now. So just start slow, because a lot of them actually can correct themselves when you kind of correct the bigger ones. I know that a big contradiction for me was that a past career that I had, I would travel all the time for work, and I'm kind of a homebody, so like I would just hate it. But I did love traveling, you know, on my own terms, right? Like going to whatever. But so I had this contradiction or block that I created for myself that if I was really, really successful, it meant that I had to travel all the time. You know, because maybe that's what they did in the movies, or I don't know. But the thing is, when you are really successful, you make the plans. Like, you decide, right? So I got rid of that block, and it was very, very helpful for me, because I realized, like, gosh, like, I must be creating a ton of different contradictions for myself that are not even applying. I don't even see that, you know, it's funny the stuff that we make up, essentially, right? It's really weird the stuff that we make up. Anyway, look for the contradictions in your own life. It's very serious stuff. Okay, let's see here. Tanya, Tania. I got the Soul Sisters card for you. Soul Sisters. This is a really specific message, and it's about you connecting with other like-minded women, right? It's about you connecting with people that are going to uplift you and inspire you and make you feel more creative. If you don't already have kind of like a good social circle, and like I said, friends and family are not always the best, right? You need to find an inspiring social circle outside of friends and family. So go like meetup.com, or like maybe there's a cool group at your library, or like a book club, or maybe like a journaling club, or, you know, whatever. Entrepreneur club, it doesn't matter, but that's what you need to do right now that's going to help you get to the next step. Okay. And everybody, please definitely make sure you get your own deck, Magic of a Creative Soul, this deck that I'm going through right now. The link is right up here. Go to my GoFundMe page, and if you scroll to the bottom of the info, it tells you all the ways that you can donate, get card decks or multiple card decks, and also other fun goodies right now during this pre-launch. So please make sure that you go and get your card deck today, okay? Okay, Kathy. Now, there's been a few Kathys. I think this is Kathy R. Kathy Ramuno. Anyway, if I've done Kathy twice, sorry. It's good for Kathy. Kathy got procrastination due to overwhelm. Now, I think we can all say that sometimes we get so overwhelmed we don't do anything. It's like too much to do, not going to do anything. Right? And that's kind of like what we shift into. That can be our default sometimes, but that's also really bad, because what I found is the kind of answer to that for me is knowing the information. Now you guys probably have heard of, like, you know, Zoom online, right? It's kind of like a Skype. And years ago, I needed to record my video interview series I was doing on Zoom, but I hadn't used it before, so I didn't know how to work it. I was really scared that I'd be on there with somebody I was interviewing and not know how to record it. And I was so scared, and I kept pushing back my interviews and pushing it back. And finally, my friend was like, okay, let's just go on. I'll show you how to do it. And she did. And she's like, there you go. You press record. And I was like, oh. So what I understand from that, why I like to share that story is that procrastination, we tend to procrastinate a lot of the times because we don't know the information. We're overwhelmed by the thought of fears or worry or not knowing the information or on something, right? But knowledge really is power. It helps you gain clarity and helps you figure out what to do. So where in your life right now are you not willing to or scared to learn more about the situation? Because that's what's probably causing procrastination for you. And then you get overwhelmed and you don't do anything at all, right? So it's kind of a vicious cycle. Okay, Beatty. As above, so below. So as above, so below simply means, there always is a direct reflection. There always is a sacred mirror with everything. Just like our inner world reflects our outer world, right? There always is that mirror image, and things are always going to show up for us like this. And even people in your life are going to show up for you that are a direct reflection of how you're feeling right now, or they're going to have a lesson happening in their life and you know about it because it's happening in your life now too, right? It's something for you to learn. So just look at everything going on in your life right now, whether it be how messy your house is. Maybe that's kind of saying something about what's going on in your own inner life. Maybe it's about relationships that are going sideways. Could be something about what you're dealing with personally. Maybe it's about whatever. Like there's always that direct reflection, right? So if you want to dive into that more, definitely you can private message me. But as above, so below. So just be really, really clear. Like use that as a guiding light to find out what your sacred mirrors are really all about. Okay. Where did I go with this now? Who has not had one? Kaylee. Erica. Just one sec. I'm just going to write down a few more names here. Tanya, we did one for you. I think we've done one for Karen. Okay. Erica, good with that. Candy. Okay, let's do one for Kaylee Harris. Aha. Moon magic. Now, I was actually watching a documentary about this last night, and the moon is so much more powerful than everybody thinks. It's not just a cool thing in the sky. It really isn't. The moon, not only does it make our planet work with its energy, right? Bringing in the tides, bringing out the tides, essentially teaching animals where to migrate to. There's so many things. And us as humans, because we overanalyze everything, we're just it's cool. It's I don't know. It's a waxing moon, whatever. You really dive into the phases of the moon for you right now, because that might be a really missing link for you. The moon holds so much magic and so much power and energy and magnetism. It's amazing. And not only is it totally connected to the workings of a woman, right? 28 days. It's just you have to look into this. So this is just a symbol for me, a sign for me to tell you that this is kind of a next step for you to dive into this type of work. If you've never even looked at moon phases before, please dive into it. There's a whole bunch of different great books. There's one called Phases of the Moon. There's Moon Spells, Moon Magic. There's so many great books on Amazon about moon workings, and you can actually manifest through different phases of the moon, which is also really interesting. So, the moon for me, I don't follow every single day as a phase of what I'm doing in my work and stuff like that, but I always launch new things on new moons. Right? Because then as the moon energy starts to grow, so does my manifestation. Or if there's things you want to release them on a full moon, right? Because as you release on a full moon, as the moon's energy starts to dull, it releases what you want to release, right? So there's so many different connections that are really, really cool. So moon magic is definitely something for you to really look into right now. Okay. Erica, I got for you gratitude. Now, this is a really important card. You've all heard about gratitude a bazillion times, right? But gratitude really is the key, the missing link to manifesting the things that you want. So if you're wanting a brand new house, but yet you don't have gratitude for the roof over your head, you're not really going to manifest that, right? If you want all the money in the world, but yet you're not grateful for the money you have in your pocket or the bills that you're actually able to pay, then you're not going to get more money. So it really is the missing link. So dive into gratitude wherever you're wanting something more or something better in your life. You have to be grateful for that thing that's connected to that first. So it's really, really important. Like, it's a huge missing step that people really miss when it comes to manifesting the. It's not just about the law of attraction. It really is about you getting grateful and feeling the feelings of being so grateful about those things that you really, really want, right? Okay, Adrian. I did Moira 3 times, did I? Chantel said. I don't think so. Maybe I did her twice. Not sure. That's the problem with this, because it just disappears, right? So I can't even make a note. Okay, who was I doing here? Adrian. Fly from the inside. Now, this is not just a song from Shinedown. Fly from the inside is a message that you first, like, need to be so inspired and confident and brave and, like, fly from your heart first, right? Who cares what you're doing in the outside world? If you're not, like, feeling good in here, it's not going to even compute out there, right? So have that as kind of like a message for you, like, fly from the inside. What do you need to really be brave about right now? What do you really need to be, what do you need to allow your inspiration to run with right now, right? Like, do it all from your heart first, because that's really what's going to get you to all the next steps in your life. So fly from the inside. I feel like it's a different message for everybody, but that's the general message of it. It'll mean something different for you or something a little bit more tweaked for you. Candy. Soul charms. So soul charms, much like your creative bliss, is another weird phrase that I've termed. Soul charms are different things around your house that make you feel so you and make you feel so aligned and happy with life. It could be a pair of earrings. It could be a ring. It could be a globe, like an ornament. It could be a crystal. One of my soul charms is my favorite, like, it's like a candle kind of like little lantern-y thing, and the glass is really beautiful. That's one of my soul charms. Like it just makes me feel so happy to look at it. And so often people come into my house and they're like, why does everything in your house feel so good? Like, it has a really great vibe. And the reason for that is because I don't just buy things for the sake of buying them. I get things and I bring them into my home if I love them. So everything in my home has the vibe of me loving it, which is so much more powerful than just stuff, right? So even a room with only like 2 soul charms in it, opposed to a room that is just filled with furniture and stuff, is going to feel so much better. Get it? So it's really important that you identify what your soul charms are and maybe donate the rest. You know what I mean? Like, or just look at things differently from now on, right? Because other people have stuff too. But I mean, the thing is that as long as the stuff in your house is making you feel so good, and that's the stuff that you're like around and looking at every day is making you feel so good, then you're on the right path, right? Because now you're changing the energy of a space. So really look at what your soul charms are. All right, let's see if I have missed anybody. Did Adrian there? Thank you, everybody, for being on here. Yuri was read twice. Sorry. Could there be another one for me too? Chantel says. Okay, Chantel. Diaz. Oh, did that one. Okay, Chantel. Disconnect. So there's something in your life right now that you need to disconnect with. Now, this can be energetically too, right? So, for example, you've probably heard of like energetic cord cutting and that kind of thing, right? You know, everybody that comes into your life all of a sudden gets connected to you energetically. It could be someone you just like meet at a store, a friend or family member, somebody you just sit next to on the bus, whatever. Then there's an energetic connection there. And so all of a sudden, this energy can get stuck to you, right? So it's really important for you to energetically disconnect from everybody every single day, every single night, because it actually can like build up within you if you're not getting rid of it all the time. Now, there also could be somebody in your life, maybe a family member, parent, whatever, child, doesn't matter, that could be causing you a bit of grief and energetic sludge, okay? So this would just be, again, a really great time to just mentally disconnect from them. Or even, you know what? It could be as simple as, if you going on Facebook all the time and seeing people's posts is dragging you down, disconnect from that for a while. So just be like really aware of what you can disconnect from. And remember that just because you disconnect from somebody or something or what have you, doesn't mean you don't love them. It just means you're energetically disconnecting for a while because you have your own personal energy, right? So it's all good. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. I don't even want to say it again. You know who you are. I would love to know how to say it though. So let me know how to say your name. Okay, Kathy says, I'm great at this now. Things are best that way. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chantel. Shelly McGinnis. I don't know if I drew one for you. I'll draw one for you right now. Breathe. This could be one of the most important cards in the whole deck because breathe reminds us to breathe. And without breath, nothing matters. It is literally the most important thing that you have to work on right now is breathing. Because if you're not breathing, you're not living, right? It's so simple. So at times of craziness and confusion and overwhelm and all you got to do is bring it back to your breath and literally bring it back to mindfulness, right? Because mindfulness shows us that with breath, and concentration breath, we can see our issue outside of ourselves, right? And we can look at it from a different perspective. And it gives us the power to know that. So if that's what you need to work on right now is mindfulness and your breath. I have created a bunch of different mindfulness meditations and audios and different things like that. You can access them through my private group. So please go to my private group. It's Wild and Creative Community. And there's a whole bunch of great things on there too. Let's see here. So Tanya, these are old, but Tanya, I did get to you. So Janie, if you're still on, hopefully. Where are we here? Freedom. So Janie, freedom. So the freedom card is that freedom is probably one of the biggest things that people sought after in today's world. It used to be something else, but now it is freedom. And I don't know if it's really the change in generation or what have you, but I think people are starting to understand that, what we do with our days is so much more important than how much money we have at the end of our days, right? Because it allows us freedom. But also with freedom could come a lot of things. It could come happiness, it could come money, it could come what have you. But as long as you fully understand what freedom is for you, then a lot of those other things are going to just fall into place. So, when you look at this card and when you see the word freedom and when you say the word freedom out loud, what does it remind you of? Does it make you feel weird? Maybe it makes you feel like uncomfortable having the word freedom, right? Maybe that's been a block or a pattern that you've kind of been taught or created over your lifetime, right? That's not okay to feel free, but it is okay to feel free. And that should be something that you're striving for right now, for sure. Okay. Let's see here. Lori P. Get golden. Now this card obviously is connected to my Golden Pineapple Project idea and meaning that everybody has creative gold inside of them and the world needs to see it. But me pulling this card for you, I would say is definitely a reminder to ask you, what is your truth? Like, what is your gold, right? Like, what is that gold that you have within you? And it could be just the way that you are with people, how you do something specific, your intuition, whatever. You have something golden within you, and it's time for you to wear your golden crown. And it's time for you to really be unapologetic and show the world your gold. Like, that is the message of this card. Let's see here. I think I've got mostly everybody. Amy Black. Hopefully Amy is still on. So Amy, you've got lessons wrapped in ribbons. So these are like secret life lessons that are showing up for you in forms of little gifts. Or maybe it doesn't feel like a gift at the time, but it is a lesson and it is a gift. Does that make sense? So sometimes we get really pissed off at things that happen, right? But again, having that appreciation for the process and having appreciation for just, the flow of things really allows us to see those gifts and then to incorporate those gifts into our life. Because if we're not incorporating the gifts and the lessons, then we're simply going to have shitty things keep popping up for us until we learn that lesson, right? So that's really the story there. It's like, really be aware of all the things that are happening for you or the patterns that are showing up for you and that kind of thing, and learn the lessons from them. It's neither good or bad. Just learn the lessons from them so that you can then move forward and not have that same kind of situation happen again, right? Some women, that go into many different abusive relationships after abusive relationship after abusive relationship, wonder like, what's happening? But honestly, it's like, what's the lesson here? The lesson most likely is that you need to get very, very clear on your boundaries and also your self-love and self-worth, and know that you are so much better than that, so that you can then feel into that and then not attract that type of person, because you're always going to attract the type of person you're ready for. A lot of people wonder why can't I find the love of my life or what have you, right? But it's like, do you really love yourself enough to attract that type of love? Because if you don't love yourself, well, you can't expect to find the love of your life that's going to treat you the best, right? It's kind of so simple, but again, look for all the lessons that have little bows on them, but maybe necessarily don't show up as a present, right? It's more of like a learning process. Okay. Yes, thank you so much, everybody that is commenting right now. And let's do Lindsay. Sad I can't get on this. Keep trying. Lindsay Price. It takes me a really long time to go through the list, right? If you can imagine. So that's why it takes a long time. I know some people are like, me, but it's just like, I'm just going through the list name by name. So Lindsay Price, if you're still on, ooh, this is a good one. Be the light. So you always have the option of being the darkness or rising up and being the light. And it's your choice, right? So it's just like, it's your choice whether you feel like the glass is half empty or half full, right? Or maybe it's just, you can always fill it up, right? So anyway, be the light in your circle of friends, in your family, in your work situation, what have you. You always have a choice of being the light or being or bringing whatever energy you want to the situation. Like, it's your choice. So that's why it's really important for you to choose the light. And not saying that darkness is bad, but when it comes to inspiration and when it comes to the light, people always follow people that are in the light because they can see them, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see here. Carenza. I probably said that wrong. Get comfortable with the unknown. Now, this isn't necessarily a scary card. It's not saying that you have to be comfortable with uncertainty, although that always makes things flow a little bit better. But when you're comfortable with the unknown, it's about you having that trust in the universe, that the universe is always working out for you, right? So say something doesn't happen that you really wanted to have happen, and you're like, why didn't this happen? Like, I felt so aligned with it, and like, it didn't happen to me. But realistically, if you have the idea in your being that the universe is always looking out for you, and for whatever reason, it didn't work out for you because of XYZ and it was looking out for you, then you have that kind of feeling of, understanding, of getting comfortable with the unknown, right? So just know that everything will work out for you fine. And just don't judge things that happen. It doesn't mean that you weren't worthy, or it doesn't mean that you weren't necessarily aligned, or maybe it doesn't mean that you weren't aligned and you just couldn't see that, right? But know that it's always in your best interest, whatever happens. Okay. Kathy's feeling vibes at her house. Let's see here. Jenny, where are we here? Okay. Jenny needs what? Oh no, Janie. Erica would like another. Janie, let's see if there's anybody out here. Janie's always been a free spirit and striving for more freedom. Oh yeah, Janie got the freedom card. Maryanne. And then moi. And then, let's see here, Nina. So I'm going to try to get to the people that haven't had any first. So Maryanne Celebrate life. So celebrate life is just a really good vibe card because it reminds us to celebrate every one of your wins. Because again, if we are celebrating all the things that are happening to us, even the little teeny tiny things, we're telling the universe, yeah, keep bringing me cool things. Keep bringing me cool things I can celebrate with. But if we never celebrate any of our wins, the universe is like, so do you like this or what? Right? So we have to show the universe, yes, this is awesome. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me $10 today. Thank you for making me win this prize, whatever. So it's really important that you celebrate life. And it also is an image of tons of lilac bushes, which I really feel like, you know, when it's lilac time and all the roads are like lined with purple flowers and stuff like that, it makes life so much more beautiful and so much more happy. And it's like, that's a time of celebration. And then it's also the time of May 1st, which is Beltane, which is like the spring, essentially like a spring festival, right? So again, celebrate life however you can. Every festival you can, every cool thing that happens to you, every time you find $1, like whatever. And just really tell the universe, like, I'm in it. Keep giving me more, right? Okay. Moi. M-O-I, M-O-I. Take back your control. So the law of control states that we are as happy as we feel in control of our life. It's as simple as that, right? So you'll know that like when you don't have as much money, you feel like out of control and you feel like shitty. Or when something's going on in your life and you don't have any control over it whatsoever, you feel like really lost and like, I don't know what to do. So wherever you can take back your control, even in the smallest of things, is going to help you bring more happiness back into your life. So that's really important for you to concentrate on. What can you bring more control back with? Sometimes if you feel so unbelievably depressed and lost and out of control, it's as simple as you going on a walk and just making a mental note to yourself being like, I'm in control. I'm making the decision to turn right. Or I'm making the decision to turn left. Or today I'm making the decision to work 2 hours on this. Or what have you. It doesn't matter. But as long as you make that kind of mental checklist to yourself and be like, I'm making the decision, I'm in control and what I can control in a positive way, then you are actually going to bring more happiness back into your life. Let's see here. Nina. So Nina gets shiny object syndrome. My lighting's weird. Shiny object syndrome. So shiny object syndrome is a message for you to watch out all the things that you're like, oh, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that now. And not focus on what you should be doing, not creating for yourself first. So a lot of the time online, we can get really like hung up on like all the things that are going on. We're constantly being like inundated with all of the messages, all of the Facebook ads, all of the things all the time. And sometimes you have to literally like turn it off and just focusing on what you want to focus on and what you're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that is the message. It's very, very simple. It's like, if you have shiny object syndrome right now and you're constantly changing it up or doing what you think other people want you to do or what have you, like forget it and just keep doing the things that you want to do and really would love to do, like at heart level. Erica says that she's had someone pass away and has felt all these supernatural things and just wanted to know how connected we are. Let's see. Well, let's see how this card applies. So you got the card of just be. So if we think of when someone is just being and just really present in the present moment and being very mindful and not worrying about what other people think or not worrying about the future or the past, it's a really energetically charged like place to be, right? It's kind of a meditative place to be. So I'm not sure how that really connects to like what you were asking there, but I guess, I mean, the thing is like in the moments of just being, when you're not worried about all the other things and your mind's not full of chatter and all that kind of stuff, you can actually connect so much better to your, not only your supernatural magical gifts or your psychic gifts, right? But you can also connect with, you know, loved ones that have passed away or what have you, in a space where it's like all the stuff swirling around and you're at work and you're waiting for this to happen and, you know, you got to get this done by a certain time. You know, you're not going to be able to be your best intuitive and energetic self, right? So this is really more of a message for you is to work on just being, like just in this moment, only right now. because that's where the answers lie. So I think it goes like, those who dwell in the past are depressed. Those who dwell on the future are anxious. Those who dwell in the present moment are mindful, if that makes sense. I think I got that right. I don't know. But it is right, but I don't know if I got the wording right. Alrighty. Hey, Crystal, Alan. Okay, Crystal, you are a dreamer. So this is a good card. It's not saying you're a dreamer. This is saying you're a dreamer. And because of that, you're going to be able to manifest some of the most amazing, wonderful things. And so I remember, like, when I was really, really little, telling, like, an adult, I'm like, I'm going to have a Lexus and a Mercedes and a Corvette, and, like, all this, like, listing off, like, all these things. And they look at me and they're like, you're a dreamer. That's not going to happen. And I remember being super crushed, like, in that moment and being like, why not? Like, somebody has that, right? Like, somebody has that right now. So it's really, really important that you are a dreamer and that you stay in that dreamlike state, because the dreamlike state is actually connected to the theta brainwave state, and the theta brainwave state is actually connected to kind of like the space of where all possibilities and everything in creation has ever been and can be. So when we dream, we're actually really connected to the things that we want to have happen. So don't lose your dreamlike state, right? You know, sit under a willow tree with your journal and dream about all the things that you want to be and want to do and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, because people that do that are going to accomplish more in life, chances are, like metaphysically speaking, energetically speaking, than someone that's just always like, go, 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 got to do this, got to do that, and like is not really connected to the feelings behind why you're dreaming about what you're dreaming, right? Okay, so let's see here. Bernadette. I don't have that many more cards here, but okay, alignment. So Bernadette, you got alignment. So alignment simply just means like our soul's alignment, like the things that we're super connected with at soul level are the things that we need to be doing here right now. So where can you really get aligned? So like the work that I do with individuals is that we find out what their soul's gifts are and soul's attributes are, and find out what they need to be doing here on earth so that they're living out their alignment, right? So if that resonates with you, contact me. And if it does, also you can just keep listening. But so that is your alignment. It's like what you need to be doing right now. And so if we look at like all the things that we're doing, like, and anybody could say this, but if we look at all the things that we're doing, there's going to be some things that we don't feel aligned with, but we're doing anyway, and they're using up our energy, or some things that, you know, other people are always asking us to do, and we do them anyway, because we're like maybe a pushover or what have you. So alignment is always feeling good in every moment, but it's also looking at your soul's work, what you should be doing here on earth, and living from that space too. Because when you live from that space, then there's no resistance, then there's only flow. And that's when only good things are going to happen, or a lot of good things are going to happen, right? All right. Okay, Kathy's having crazy things happen at our house. I guess we're at the end. I'm going to pull one just like as a collective card for whoever is listening. And I'd really love for you guys to get your own Magic of a Creative Soul Oracle deck. It's a super special deck. The definitions are really detailed and long and just really, really great. And as you can see, like this deck doesn't just have like answers of like, you know, just what you might see in regular decks of like, you know, call it Baron Reed or whatever, right? It kind of deals with like the truth of being a creative soul and like the trials and tribulations in a way, and all the things that come up for us as we deal with the emotional roller coaster, the emotional storm, right? And so it's just really, really important that we look at, you know, the things in these cards as kind of like a guiding light, right? So anyway, let me pick a card for you here of the cards that are left. Okay. Okay, I like this card. So back to basics. Back to basics card, and I want to tell you a little story too. But this back to basics card reminds me of probably about a year and a bit ago. I had so much going on in my business, so many things, that I was kind of feeling overwhelmed as to like doing anything really well. Because I was just like, what am I doing? Like, what is this all about, right? And so I scaled everything back, and I just for a moment thought about all the things that I really only love, right? So another alignment piece. So all the things that I really only love. And I was like, okay, what do I love? I love physical, tangible objects, right? I've always loved physical, tangible objects. I love stationery and journaling and books. I love reading books. Okay, well, maybe it's time to write more books. I love listening to audio and podcasts. Okay, maybe it's time to create my own podcast. I love oracle cards and doing oracle card readings. Okay, maybe it's time to make my own oracle card deck. You see what I mean? Like I was bringing it all back to basics with just the things that I loved, and everything else that didn't really apply, I kind of let go of. And that was a really strong turning point in my business, because now it's like things made sense and things had a lot of clarity with them. So I invite you to do the same. It's like sometimes the answers are already just there. You don't need to invent the wheel. You just need to turn into the things that are like make a lot of sense for you and that make you feel really, really good. So how can you bring your life back to basics in a sense, right? And sometimes bringing it back to basics can be just really humbling and also just really clarifying, right? Because we get so inundated with all this stuff going on around us and all the things that we have been doing for a long time or think we should be doing still. And you don't have to keep doing the things you've always been doing, right? Like you're always growing and expanding. So you can always be changing. And one thing I also know for sure is that especially people online, right? When they have more of a basic, not basic, but when they have more of a simplified plan as to what it is that they're serving others with and how they're serving others, that's where the gold really happens, because they are then an expert in their field, right? So how can you, even if you don't have a business, how can you be the expert in your field of life by bringing it back to basics? There's something that you're really, really good at. There's something that you're really amazing at. And that's bringing back to basics, is focusing on that, right? So hopefully that'll help. Thank you to everybody who was watching and who is commenting and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. If you have not already pre-ordered your Oracle deck that I've just been going through, and there's so many more cards that I have. There's 84 cards. And it's a great deck to, pull one every day, and through the year, you're not going to actually pull that many of the same one, right? But please go to the Gofundme campaign that I have listed right up here. 20% of all the proceeds made go to my favorite animal organization in China. Not China, Asia. Same thing, but different area. And yeah, so I love giving back to my favorite animal organizations, that kind of thing. It would be so helpful. So it'll also help me get to my goal of 500 decks sold in this launch, essentially. And yeah, it's just a goal that I really want to get to. And I really would love for these to be in so many people's hands. And I would love for you to be, showing me images of what you get every single day, right? Or what they meant for you as a very creative person. And again, like I said, they're not your typical Oracle deck. They really are about the magic of being a creative individual and how to express that to the world and how to get your magic out there to the world, right? So it's like all these secret hidden meanings in here. So I really thank you again for tuning in. I'll be back again with another Oracle deck reading very, very soon. And yeah, if you have any questions at all, please comment them here. You can also private message me if you have any questions about this deck or any of the work that I do. You can message me here through Facebook, or you can go to my wildandcreative.com website. There's a ton of cool activities on there if you haven't already gone through them. If you go to wildandcreative.com and go to activities, there's personality quizzes, other fun activities on there that can help you learn more about yourself. And actually, they're very, very cool. And then you can also learn about the work that I do and how we can work together in the future. So thank you again. Have a wonderful day. And I hope all of you have a creative day and feel inspired to do something amazing. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.